Yeah, I do believe scouting is the last part of the game to be professionalised, and we're getting there, but we've still got a long way to go.
Mm.
Now, scouts are under valued in practice
Yeah.
in many parts of our game. Every player, every top player you think of it as a scout, if not a team of scouts, because it's more of a team game
Yeah.
business now, scouting than individual scouts. Every top player has had a scout that started their journey,
Yeah.
scout or scouts that start their journey. And we play a part in the identification of that talent that then becomes, in some cases, multi-million-pound talent.
Mm.
And yet scouts are still being employed at smaller clubs on a voluntary basis, people queuing up to take it.
Yeah.
The part-time rates are very poor for pay. You don't go into scouting if you think you're going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Definitely not, because
No.
that's not going to happen. So it is undervalued, and it's not good, and people are taken advantage of.
Yeah.
Having said that, there has been for many years a lot of poor practice amongst scouts.
Mm.
I can still go to games, and I can sit in a stand watching, say, an under-21 game, and there might be 10 scouts there. Most of them, like me, are old white men.
Yeah.
The diversity has got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But also, most of them, unlike me, will not be taking notes.
Mm.
They will be gossiping.
Yeah. Yeah.
They will leave 10 minutes before the end of the game, even though it's an under-21 game, there's hardly anybody there.
Yeah.
And so we have to look at ourselves as well.
Mm.
And they maybe have got much better memories than me, but I have to write things down. I have to take extensive notes,
Yeah.
one way or another, as most scouts do, of course, because otherwise I can't write my report. My report is my product. My
Yeah.
report on a player, that's my product as a scout. And I want to do the best job I can. Now, I'm exaggerating a little bit about how many will not take notes,
Yeah.
but not very much.
Yeah.
So we've got a long way to go to professionalize ourselves and have a professional attitude. And there are many great scouts out there, very professional, who really take care in what they do. And the qualifications that are out there through the FA or PFSA, these sorts of organisations are certainly playing a big part in helping us upgrade our game. But we are not well rewarded, and
Yeah.
we're not well respected or recognised within our own industry.
Mm.
We've got to get our act in order, and then we should be able to demand better recognition.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because again, I kind of spoke when I first spoke. I mentioned my background is in analysis, Chris. So
Yeah.
it's the norm in this area is you would typically work a season unpaid, and then you would hopefully then find a job. Some may have to do a couple of seasons unpaid, but it seems like scouting, you would do it unpaid, and then you might then get the chance to get expenses and a small retainer, and it's
Yeah.
very different in that regard. Whereas there's probably a lot less full-time jobs, and it is just because I think I've mentioned you before. You mentioned Brighton's recruit. I worked in Brighton's recruitment department, so I've got a little bit of history and background in that. But other departments, a lot of the scouts are just part. They've got other jobs, then they are just going to watch on an evening or on the side of their main job. So yeah, I think a lot of people don't realise that it's
Yeah.
a difficult industry to crack into. But even then, like you said, you wouldn't go into it if you want to make a lot of money.
Absolutely right. And it is getting better.
Mm.
There are more opportunities, I think. And scouting, as I mentioned before, is reaching further down into non-league game. So, you are getting opportunities coming up there. Just like analysis, I've seen the growth of analysis. One of my sons has a degree in sports performance analysis from Cardiff Met. That's
Mm.
him now working for me in my business. And he has experienced exactly the same as you, Chris, and it's hard to break in, and you're soon overtaken by the next
Yeah.
outpouring of further graduates, who've got even later technology, and technology is moving on.
Mm.
But the number of analysts and the importance of their role has been a massive change in our game
Mm.
for the better, obviously. But that has made it difficult for a lot of the old-fashioned scouts to deal with this new world of data.
Yeah.
When I decided I really wanted to get into scouting, I went through the League Managers Association and I did a course on using data and performance analysis,
Yeah.
just to try and bring myself up to speed, because I didn't want to be completely outclassed by all you young graduates coming out.
Yeah.
I knew that was the way that the game was going, and I wanted to be comfortable with using data because the genie is out the bottle, you can't go back.
Yeah.
And we are seeing that massive improvement in terms of the information that's available for us when we make choices in terms of recruitment.
Yeah.
But that has put extra demands on scouts. some of the scouts have struggled to make
Yeah.
that transition.
Mm.
So you've got that as well. You know, we do have some dinosaurs in the game,
Mm.
and like the original dinosaurs, they die out. You know,
Yeah.
and that's happening. That's
Yeah.
happening. You've got to be ready to change
Yeah.
in football. It's a far, as you know, particularly on the analysis side, it's a fast changing field,
Yeah.
and you've got to be
100%.
ready to take on new concepts and new ways of presenting your case about a player.
Mm.
And not everybody is happy doing that. They want to, you know, the old-fashioned way. You're a scout. You go to a game. On the way back to the game, you might phone your boss, and your boss might say, "Well, what was the player like? Oh, he's all right. He's not ready for us, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not really very quick." And that's it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that ain't enough anymore, is it? You know, and so you've got to be ready to be sitting down at your laptop or your computer, and you've got to be ready to do your reports in a professional way if you want to be considered professional. And
Yeah.
that doesn't suit everybody. Well,
Yeah.
fine. Those days are gone. It's
Yeah.
changed.